Hey,
hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone on Twitter, YouTube, and of course in getting started in crypto.com.
Yeah, what a week we've had in the group as well.
We have. It's been pumping, which has been nice. It's been a very, very green week. So we like to see those.
30%ers, lots of targets getting hit. It's awesome.
It is nice. It's nice when it's going the right way. So yes.
Always.
And if you've been watching the last few weeks, I think we've been going live out to YouTube and Twitter for about just over a month now. And we've been telling you all about this. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty epic. So thanks everyone for joining. As Lisa said, we've got YouTube and Twitter here as well. We will give you a little bit of an update, and then the rest of it will be for the GSIC members only. So if you're not already in GSIC, go to gettingstartedincrypto.com and sign up, because we really want you in there. Yeah, over to you, Liz.
All right, cool. Let's jump straight into Bitcoin, because that's what you guys all want to hear about, because Bitcoin, as we know, controls the market. So I want to show you something to do with RSI at the moment, because a lot of people trade on RSI, but there's a small thing that you need to be aware of if you're a new trader, or you're sort of like experimenting with indicators and that sort of thing. So if we jump into this chart, we can see, I'm going to pull up this RSI. This is called a divergence indicator. So this is a really cool RSI on TradingView. So you can just add divergence indicator, and you can work out whether we're bullish or bearish divergence. But the point is, so this is the 4-hour chart, and we can see that we've got strong bearish divergence on this chart. We got up to 90, almost 92 on the RSI, which normally means we're going to see a pullback. But if we go back to the chart and we have a look where this RSI was at the time. So if you entered a short with a large margin and you had a tight stop loss, it more than likely would have got hit if you got greedy. So you can normally sort of estimate that when it gets up to those regions, it's going to have some sort of pullback. So when we got up to this was the 21st of June. So 21st of June, we hit this high here. So we got to about 30,800, and then we had a pullback. So if you were, in a high margin, you got, you're quite good with, how you're scalping and that sort of thing. You could have got, say you were in 10%, that's not high. Could have got 40% profit on that pullback. So depending on how you were doing it. But if you got greedy and you went, okay, Bitcoin's going down, this is, I'm listening to crypto Twitter, it's going right down, I'm going to stay in this, you probably would have got liquidated. It went up from that point another 2.25%, which more than likely would have liquidated a lot of people in tight margin. So had you flipped that trade, that would have been a nice trade, but it had strong bearish divergence on it. Would you have stayed in that trade? So going up to a daily sort of chart, we can have a look and we go, okay, we're kind of topping out around the 72. It's flattening out in this region. Probably got one more push in it. If you know Elliott wave, you would see that it had one more push in that wave. And you would have probably just hung around. You would have looked at the MACD. You would have gone, okay, it's still got, money coming in. MACD is a lagging indicator, but you can sort of gauge on how much buy and sell pressure there is. We can see at this point, we've got some sell pressure entering the market. So that means we're probably going to get a pullback. Whether that's a large or small one, we don't know yet. There is potential for a retest of the breakout region, which does put it at, a 0.86 pullback. So whether this is an impulse or still a corrective wave is yet to be seen. We do need to hold certain key areas. We have broken down past the first pivot, which means we're more than likely still coming down to about 29,368. Could go sideways for a little bit longer and just ease that, MACD and the RSI out. We can see that on the daily RSI, we're going pretty sideways. So that to me means we potentially could have a little bit more in this. If we get start to get a sharper pullback here on the RSI, I'll go, okay, we're starting to see some, strong sell pressure coming in. We have got 6 monthly futures coming out in a couple of days. So, we look back to the sentiment that we had at that point. So that was January. We were still very bearish. The whales that buy these big futures are probably sort of like contrarian and maybe would have been bulls. So it could be a bit choppy over the next week or so. So that's kind of what we need to start looking at if, you want to be, a professional trader in this region, not just, okay, I'm going to buy here, I'm going to sell here. You need to know why you're buying. So if we go to Ethereum, we can see a very different pattern where you could be making quite a bit of money at the moment, where we've got block order. So if we were to put a channel on here, we can see that we've got quite a strong region that it's going touching. So until you get stopped out, that's a really good place to sort of put longs and shorts until one of them takes. So, and if we have a look around here, we're probably going a little bit deeper. So I'm going to just draw a trend line along here. So we can see that we've got some block order regions over along this bit here. And we haven't tested that with this. We did come along here and test it. So I do think we're still going to get one more test down to that region. So that's around the 1827. One more wick down to this support where we've entered and exited and probably need to retest to see that we do have that support there. So that's sitting at around, 1800 to about 1770. And those are pretty strong fib levels on Ethereum. So same thing happening with BTC at the moment. With we're going to start getting that sort of momentum sort of sideways. We can see that happening with the RSI, and that will allow a cool down of the lower RSI and then potentially an increase. So whether we go back down all the way to retest is really unknown at the moment. We need to wait and see what this region, sort of does, whether we're going to squeeze some more shorts, which has been happening. So I know I've seen a lot of crypto Twitter that have been short, absolutely getting annihilated. And so if you have just switched long, I don't necessarily think this is, the best place to be going long. I would be buying the pullbacks in small increments and then switching to those margin trades. But right now, I do think, we have to take this one step at a time, like any pullback we do. So at the moment, in the next, we're sort of going to, if we can't hold this region above 30, potentially we could just go sideways like Ethereum has done. But the next pullback area is 29, sort of 638. And then right back down, if we do get down to there, it's about 27K. So must hold 27K for this to remain bullish for the longer term. So that's kind of what we're seeing with BTC at the moment. So it's going to be a bit of a choppy week with 6 monthly, quarterly, monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, those sort of all those futures releasing this week. So yeah.
Another volatile week. Excellent. Okay, well, shall we move into the group and look at some alts and some other interesting things going on in the market? Like I said, if you're not in the group already, Lise, we were just discussing this earlier, has been doing a Bitcoin update every single day since we've been live with getting started in crypto, which was back in March, end of March 2021 now. So
It is. So I've been doing a Bitcoin update since 2014 daily. So I think I'm probably one of the most experienced people looking at Bitcoin charts. So, and we saw that when like the bull market happened in 2020, like predicted the bottom of that. So let's go. Let's see. So hopefully that November bottom that we saw, which is when I was telling all you guys to buy. So there's our moderator in our group has made bazillions of dollars. He had a 2 or 3% margin, and he's been in that since the bottom. So, and I think he's just sort of laddered out a little bit here, and yeah, is going to be adding to that lower down.
And for those who might have only joined us recently in the last few months, isn't it true that back in COVID, you counted every single wave of Bitcoin? Whether that's a cool thing or not, I'm not sure. But
I don't know. I had so much time on my hands. So with COVID, obviously, we couldn't go out. So I just sat there, and I was doing hard forking at the time. So for those that remember, and yeah, I just thought I'm going to just work out exactly where we are. And I still believe we're in a super cycle, and we're coming up to a really huge pump. I do think with Bitcoin, creeping up past 51%, we're going to see a clearing out of a lot of those shitty alts. And yeah, they're going to just disappear. We went over 26,000 on CoinMarketCap on alts, and we've just dropped back under 25,000 or around 25,000. So we're starting to see that clear out on alts that don't have liquidity, that can't sustain this market. And I think that's going to continue.
Okay, then let's say goodbye to YouTube and Twitter and do the